Hey, welcome back to a brand new video on everybody's favorite Creepshow Art or Shannon, and today we're going to be discussing some of the new information that's come out against Shannon. Now, I didn't intend to ever make another video on this situation unless Shannon responded, and that was until literally a few hours ago, Emily Artful decided she was going to publish what I'd consider to be smoking guns that basically conclusively tie Shannon to this whole situation, and as such, I felt like there was no reason for me not to cover this. And although I feel like I'm gonna get Milker again, I decided to do a message on my server just asking if people wanted that and stating that I was gonna do it. And most people seem to agree that it's important information that I should cover if I want to. So I've decided to sit down and go through everything else that's now come out about Shannon that seemingly ties Shannon without a doubt to this whole situation. So, if that sounds like something you want to see, please do feel free to watch the whole way through to the end, as I'm going to cover multiple different sources of information here, and not just like one in particular. And just as my quick disclaimers that I do in all of these videos before I begin, this video and everything I discuss from this point is an allegation. Nothing I'm stating within this video is proven without a doubt, nothing I'm stating is fact, and nothing I'm stating should be taken as fact or should be used as a reason to harass anyone, as all I'm stating is my own opinion on the evidence that has been presented at this point. So don't go out and witch hunt anyone based on the conclusions I come to from the evidence I've seen. This evidence could be proven false, and I'll be sure to cover it if this evidence is proven false. With that also being said, I'd like to mention a few trigger warnings that I give in all of these videos. I'm not sure if they actually work, because the information is kind of in the title, but I'd like to give trigger warnings for apparent stalking, well, cyber-stalking, harassment, and manipulation. So if that sounds like something you're not going to be interested in, click off of the video now before I get into it. And final thing before I begin, I tried to keep these self-promo bits as short as possible. I've been cutting them down and down and down. If you couldn't tell, I've been trying to make them literally as short as possible. But as a quick segment in the start, these videos take a lot of time to make, and I make them every single day, and they get uploaded at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST. So if you'd like to check out some more of my content or keep up to date whenever I post a new video covering either this allegation or multiple different allegations that come out against various different creators, with a sprinkling of more fun content like my Dead by Daylight funny moments video, which is a lot higher edited. It was just a thing that I decided to throw out there. It didn't do very well, but that's fine. If you'd like to see content like that or content like this, you can just subscribe to the channel and you'll see a variety of different videos. If you could do that, that would be highly appreciated, as I'm aiming for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're only 12,000 away now, and considering I gained 12k subs in the past month, if you guys could do that again, we'll reach that goal before my next birthday, which will be when I turn 17. So if you could support me like that, that would be highly appreciated. And finally, just as a quick thing, because I'm noticing I'm approaching a minute, if you could check out my other social media link down below on this video, that would be highly appreciated, like my Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and if you could just support me there to help me get to their respective milestones, that'd be highly appreciated, and you'll also get to see more of me. Finally, if you'd like to support me financially, my Patreon, Ko-fi, and join button are all down below. The join button is right next to the subscribe button, and by clicking it, you'll be able to donate any amount you want to this content. Finally, click notification if you want to get notified every time I upload, and with that being said, let's get right into it. Holy shit, I'm so sorry, that was a long one. Let's get into it. Okay, starting from the bottom, this is a piece of evidence that I feel like will have more relation later as we get further in the video. This is a tweet from a few weeks ago now, where Emily Artful highlights the fact that Shannon seemingly copied her hair and flipped it, basically. So, if you look at these two images, you'll see that Shannon has a very, very, very similar hairstyle to Emily within these photos, which is definitely suspicious given how many similarities there are between Emily and Shannon's stories and all of that shit. So it seems very suspicious that this would also be like going on. Feels weird, but it will make more sense why I've mentioned this, even though it was old information, as we get further in the video. And before I get into the main information, there's a few smaller points that I'd like to cover because I feel like they are still important. Now, this is a very wobbly one. This is the least conclusive of any evidence, so please literally just take this as skepticism. I don't want to see a single comment being like, wow, this is fact. Okay, expose Shannon. So basically, there was a podcast that was recently uncovered that's been covering the Shannon drama. It's just got this random name, and all it's posted since being created is just been about the Shannon drama, and the first video on this podcast is incredibly questionable, as if you listen to these audio takes that I'm gonna leave here.
Today's topic is about Creepshow Art. She's known as Shannon, so we're just gonna call her Shannon. I am not Shannon. um,
You'll hear that the voice of this podcaster is very similar to Shannon's voice, which you'll hear now.
Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today's video is actually something I'm really excited about.
Now, while this isn't anything conclusive in itself, there are a few points that were made in this Reddit post that I'm going to show on screen that seemingly tie these two quite closely together and make it seem quite suspicious who's running this account, and it feels very odd that an account with a similar accent, similar tone, similar grammar, similar kind of speech pattern to Shannon's would appear around the same time that Shannon's disappeared and start making posts defending Shannon. It seems questionable, but obviously this is just skepticism, and it could literally be the whole situation where people just randomly harass women and say, "Are you Creepshow?" and then bonk them. So literally, take this with a grain of salt, but I do find it quite weird that this podcast would appear, and you can listen to it yourself and tell me your thoughts down below, because I do think it's definitely odd that someone with such a similar tone and cadence to Shannon would appear in such a similar time frame. But yeah, again, skepticism. It's odd that this voice of this podcaster slowly becomes less and less like Shannon's as it goes on, that they state a lot of things that directly go against Shannon's behavior in a way that seems so jarring, like it just comes out of nowhere, and I just feel like the timing of it seems very coincidental that this would be made out of nowhere. But again, skepticism, okay? Please don't take this as fact. I just find it odd that like the first podcast sounds like dead on to Shannon, and then the newest one, the voice is just changed completely. It seems really fucking out of left field, if you get what I'm saying. But it's really not much of a serious thing, so I'm just gonna leave that there and let you see what you have to say, and I'll keep my eye on this podcast for the future. But now let's get into something that does hold a lot more merit. Now, this is in regards to a post that Emily Artful made recently, where she said that she was basically going to stop talking about this drama anymore, that she's kind of come to terms with everything, and that she didn't intend to further cover the Shannon drama because she believed that she'd basically said everything she needed to, and although her PTSD and more isn't going to disappear, she believes that she's told her story, she believes that she's got her, like, justification, she believes that she's got what she wanted out of this, and now she can step away unless anything really important comes out. And the thing is, a lot of really important stuff has come out since then, which has obviously spurred my video. Now, I am gonna just say, Emily, thank you for bringing this information to light. You have allowed a lot of people's voices to be heard, you've allowed a lot of people to learn who Shannon actually is behind the scenes, and you've allowed a lot of people, like Hopeless Peaches, that were wrongfully harassed by Shannon to get their due diligence, and it's sad that Peaches has also quit YouTube. It's really sad that that's happened, but it's good that Peaches came to kind of terms with what's happened, and she's been able to get her justice against Shannon for what Shannon's done against her, and that was only made possible because of you, Emily. So, thank you for this. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to speak to you again. You were really nice in your comment to me, and I do appreciate how much you've done for all of the victims of Shannon's behavior. If what's been alleged against Shannon is true, I have to state that for legal reasons. But, you know what I mean. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for being able to bring your voice out to help other people as well. But obviously, this isn't where the story ends, as Emily Artful came back with a post that has literally been the smoking gun of all smoking guns that ties Shannon to this whole situation more than anything else. Now, I'm going to cover these two pieces of evidence that I think are insanely questionable and make Shannon's behavior in this whole situation seem way more than suspicious, like holy fucking shit. But before I go into them, I am going to link a whole Google Drive that has all of Shannon's deleted videos, or most of them, in it, so that you can go through the evidence yourself, and you'll see more and more of the suspicious similarities between Shannon's claims and the evidence here, and all of this shit. You'll see how suspicious it is that Shannon particularly took down these videos that seem to always have some sort of relation to the drama she's in. Seems very odd, but there are a few videos in particular that have a lot of very questionable similarities to this whole situation that make a lot of people way more questioned, and it makes stories like Cultergeist about Shannon, seeing that Shannon was apparently harassing Emily, seem to have a lot more merit. Now, here is a clip of Shannon directly admitting in one of her videos that she has cyber-stalked people and that she believes she's really good at it. I'll play the clip to you now.
So before I get started, I do have a confession to make. I am essentially Neve from Catfish, with how fucking good I am at online stalking. Like, I'm amazing at it, guys. You have no idea. Honestly, a lot of people have tried to make me feel bad about how good I am at it, and I don't fucking care at this point.
Now, hearing that clip, you'll also notice that Shannon mentions that other people close to her had been trying to get her to stop, or had been talking to her about it, or speaking negatively about it towards her. Now, if you take that in regards to the fact that Cultigeist had said that they'd seen what Shannon was doing, and they were telling her not to, and obviously Shannon's sister had also seen it, it does bring a lot more merit to those claims against Shannon, and once again, this is like a smoking gun of smoking guns. It's evidence of Shannon directly admitting to cyber-stalking people online, which, considering the fact that there's so much evidence against Shannon for Emily, the fact that it just coincidentally seems that Emily's been harassed by Shannon's partner or Shannon for literally years, and then the harassment stops when conveniently Shannon gets involved and Shannon gets threatened that her safety may be put in danger by like legal response, and also all of a sudden this account that appears that would have been 10 at the time somehow has all of this information and was the one that was doing it, and that was the source that Shannon got this information from. It doesn't add up at all. But now seeing a clip from Shannon that says that she has cyber-stalked people in the past brings way more skepticism to this whole situation, and it makes it seem way more likely that Shannon is the person responsible for this whole situation. And I know I state in all these videos that these are allegations, but I do think that these allegations have a lot of merit to them when there are clips of Shannon admitting to cyber-stalking people, and there's so much fucking proof to tie Shannon to this whole situation in so many different ways, and the fact that Shannon's only response has been, oh, well, I was IP spoofed, which isn't a thing you could do to harass Emily in this way, or make these lolcow posts or anything like that. It just seems so incredibly questionable that Shannon's only defense has no fucking merit towards it, and then there's clips out there of Shannon admitting to cyber-stalking people. Now, I am gonna give credit where it's due. This clip does at points seem sarcastic, but the fact that there is so much evidence against Shannon at this point is fucking ridiculous that anyone could possibly try and defend Shannon here until Shannon gives justified reasoning for everything that's been claimed against her. But considering that she was just thinking about quitting YouTube, it seems like we're never gonna get that justification, and that is incredibly sad. It is fucking disappointing that Shannon has just seemingly disappeared after all of this shit has come up against her without making any response. It seems way too coincidental. But this isn't even the smoking gun of smoking guns. You see, in a storytime video that Shannon made, I believe that this storytime was one of those sarcastic ones. I believe the central focus behind this video was that Shannon was pretending to be kind of cancelled or whatever. Now, you'll notice that the screenshotted account that Shannon highlights in this video was an account that has also been a sock puppet that has been harassing Emily and initially incited the argument between Emily and Shannon, or the drama between Emily and Shannon all those years ago. Now, I find it incredibly weird that Shannon would seemingly have access to a sock puppet account which had also stirred on drama with Emily. Now, considering this and tying it in with the fact that Shannon has so much evidence against her correlating to her harassment of Emily, and now she's also apparently the owner of a sock puppet account that's been harassing Emily, it doesn't add up at all. I'd consider this way more than just skepticism at this point. This is a fucking smoking gun and a half, and it's sad that I have to just state that this is allegations, but this is allegations. My opinion may be that Shannon's guilty, but at the end of the day, that is my opinion. And not even to mention the fact that in the video, Shannon is drawing a character that seems very similar in appearance to Emily, and also in other videos she's drawing characters that seem similar to Emily, and within those videos she apparently, according to Emily, mocks their appearance and stuff like that. It seems, once again, incredibly suspicious that all of this stuff seems to be revolving around Shannon, Emily, and so much fucking more. And including the fact that Shannon's admitted to cyber-stalking in the past, it seems really odd that Shannon would seem to believe that people would believe this story to any extent. I simply don't buy it, in my personal opinion. And that's where I'm going to end this video for now. If new information comes out that I believe is really important, I will cover it, but I do hope for this to be the final video. I hope that Shannon hasn't done more shit to more people, but at this point, who fucking knows? Anything could come out tomorrow. Shannon could respond proving it all innocent, or Shannon could respond and prove herself to be completely guilty. Who actually knows at this point. With that being said though, if you could consider subscribing to the channel to help me reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that would be highly appreciated. As I mentioned, all you've got to do, it's one click, you scroll down, you click subscribe, and you're subscribed to the channel forever. If you could do that, that would be highly appreciated. And even if you believe you're subscribed, just check, because sometimes YouTube does unsubscribe people, and you checking would be highly appreciated. Thank you for all of the recent support on this channel. The fact you've allowed me to make almost every video I've made recently have over 10,000 views has been insane, and this month I have made enough money to literally live on and fucking pay rent in a house if I wanted to, and straight up pay any bill I could possibly need to just live my life alone. The fact you guys have enabled me to do that at just 16 years old is highly appreciated, and it genuinely means the world to me. Thank you for all of this recent support. It's fucking insane. Thank you. If you could consider checking out my other social media linked down below, like my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, to help me on those platforms as well, that would be highly appreciated. On Twitter, I'm aiming for 4,000 by the end of the year, and we're at 3.5 thousand, so if you could check me out there, that'd be highly appreciated. On Discord, we're about to reach 2,000, and on Instagram, we're about to reach 1,000. If you could check me out on those platforms, that'd be highly appreciated. And also, if you could feel free to check out my payment platforms like Patreon, Ko-fi, and the join button, which the join button's the easiest way. You just scroll down, you click pay, and then you add a card to YouTube, and then you can just donate straight through. You get a cool symbol next to your name. I'm going to change it soon. You get a bunch of different channel extras. I might do some join button special, like, extra content soon. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can check that out too. And also, as I mentioned, Patreon, Ko-fi down below. Those are other methods to donate if you feel so inclined. That would be also highly appreciated. With that being said though, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and check out some more of the content on the channel. Thank you for all of the recent support. It means a lot that you've allowed these videos to do as well as they have, to allow my voice to get heard so much as you have. And with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow, 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST. You guys make my life everything. Thank you. Peace. See you tomorrow.
Said she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Said she wanna rock with it.